Hello again, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with a little bit of happy mail, a sneak peek, and a little bit chit-chatting, catch up with you guys. Hope all of you are doing really well today. Thank you for joining me today. Oof, I have been a busy bee. Yep, I've been very, very, very busy with things and stuff, and whoo, my goodness. Working on a lot of projects lately, and I've been experimenting more and more in the kitchen. I've been having so much fun with the in the kitchen playlist videos that I've been doing. It's like I'm creating a little bit of magic every now and then, especially recently, actually. Um, I was inspired to try, well, recently I did a video on making tea eggs, and then I thought, I've never tried pickled eggs, but because I like to do things funny and funky and whatnot, I thought, how about jalapeno pickled eggs? Because I've seen some people do recipes for that. So I decided to try that. And since I had a lot of jalapenos, I'm like, what about jalapeno jam? So I started experimenting with that. And the first attempt, I didn't end up with jalapeno jam. I ended up with jalapeno relish. It didn't like gel. It didn't congeal. It was tasty. It was a little sweet, a little spicy, but it was relish. It was not jam. But the second attempt, I did tweak the recipe a little bit, and it came out perfect. And I'm so happy with how it came out. And yes, I do plan on doing a video on that at some point soon. The pickled eggs, they're still pickling in my fridge, and hopefully they will turn out okay. I have to wait another couple of days before trying them out, but that is a possibility. The jalapeno jam, though, I love it. It is really tasty. It's got just the right amount of spice so that it's got a nice twang to it, but also it's really sweet, and it's just it's delish. And it's one of those recipes that you can alter it so you can make it spicier or more mild, so you can change it around a bit. I like that. I like adaptability with recipes. At any rate, just been having a lot of fun with that. And also, as a sneak peek, I have been working on thread crocheting. And so this bookmark, it's a lovely lacy pineapple bookmark. This is going to be the tutorial for this upcoming weekend. Yes. Now, because this is very, very fine, and I mean, the thread that I used, it's a weight of 0, okay? And the hook that I used to make this is a 1.5 millimeter. It is tiny, but what I decided to do was go up in gauge for the tutorial so that you could actually see what it is that I'm doing. So I used, it was a weight of 3 yarn and a size H hook so that you could actually see what I'm doing. It's very easy to make. It works up very fast, and I really enjoyed making this. Now, because when I get started on things, I tend to run amok. That one was a lovely yellow, got an off-white, peacock blue, lovely shade of red, lovely shade of purple, and I've been going crazy, making all sorts of different ones as well. This is a pattern that I had found that I really, really like. It's a lovely leaf pattern. So pretty. But this weekend, though, it is going to be the pineapple. And this is another pattern that I had found, sort of a Victorian lace bookmark. It's so pretty. And usually I don't work with crochet thread because it is so fine. But I had found some ergonomic thread crochet hooks on Amazon, so that the grip is a little bit easier on my hands. I like a good grip because otherwise my hands, owie, owie, owie. At any rate. Also, we have some other news as well, actually, before we get into the happy mail. In other news, one of my really good friends, his name is Russ, he just started a YouTube channel. Yeah. And it is called It's Raining Yarn. And I'm going to put a link to the channel in the description box down below. Now, I have been friends with Russ for a couple years now, and it all started with, he left a comment on one of my videos, and we started chit-chatting on Facebook Messenger and chit-chatting more and more, and we talk every day. We're pretty good friends, and he's a really sweet guy, and he loves knitting and crocheting, and above all, he loves yarn. Oh my, yes he does. I think of myself as sort of a mild yarn hoarder. He's a full-on yarn hoarder. Okay, he has yarn up the wazoo. Not a joke. He puts me to shame. And so his channel is all about his love of yarn and showing his yarn and talking about it and so on and so forth. And he already has put out 2 videos, and I think he has a really great screen presence. And I would love for you to go check out his channel and see what he's about, And us in this yarn community, we have all different faces and names and personalities, and I think it's really quite wonderful. And I'm glad that he is finally a part of the online yarn community and to grace us with his presence. So go check him out, show your support, and tell him I said hello. And yeah, so there's that. And now we have a little bit of happy mail. Now, one of the packages in particular I'm really excited about because it's all the way from Scotland. Ooh, that tickled me pink. So let's see what we have today. Alrighty, so first up I have a letter, and this is from Doris in, I believe it is Florida. So yes, it is Florida. So let's take a look and see what Doris has to say. Doesn't say happy mail on the envelope, but because sometimes it's private, and usually then it's marked as private, but I'm assuming that it's okay. Let's take a look-see, shall we? Dear sir, help me get rid of my stash. I have yarn coming at me in all directions. It sounds like a horror movie, but this sounds like a good one. I have been watching your videos for a time and love what you do. Well, thank you. I love what I do too because it's fun, it's educational, and it's my zen. I love it. But being older can't keep with you. Maybe it's can't keep up. Let's see. But being older can't keep with you when you are making something. I'm not sure what that means, but at any rate, I'm wondering if you have printed patterns and what can I do to get some of them? Well, I don't have printed patterns, but I do have a few, not many, but I do have a few PDF file formatted patterns on my Etsy store. A couple of blankets, stuffed animal, a hat. I have a couple. I have a couple of patterns available. Let's see. A short list of ones that you like. I see. Okay, so some various shawls and things. Let me see. let's see, if you do have printouts of these, would you let me know? Okay. All right, so, and then it says one more question. How do you make your starting loop that works like the magic ring? Thank you for any help that you can give me. Well, typically, what I usually do as far as my starting loop, 9 times out of 10, what I usually do is, if you are going to be working in the round, usually what I do is at least a chaining of 4, and then slip stitch to the first chain to create that ring, and then I work, you know, within that ring. That's usually what I do, especially like if it's like a granny square or something like that. 9 times out of 10, that's what I do. If, however, say I'm doing a shawl, a top-down shawl, and say you need in the first row, like that little half moon, if you will, say you need, you know, five double crochets, for example. So what I would do is I would chain 4, and so that first chain, you would then double crochet into that first chain. Now with the chaining of 4, and so if you double crochet into that first chain, then you have 2 double crochets, because the 1, 2, 3, 4, those extra 3 chains, that counts as your first double crochet. And so if you double crochet into the 4th chain, you know, that first chain, that 4th chain, then that's 2 double crochets. Then add 3 more and you've got 5 double crochets. And then you just cinch that, sew in your end, and you're good. As far as the magic ring method, I've tried it. I'm not a big fan of it, but that's what I usually do. As far as the patterns that you had mentioned in your letter, the only patterns that I presently have for sale are on my Etsy store, which you can find as a link in the description box down below. I don't have a lot because, quite frankly, I can write patterns. I'm just not a fan of writing patterns. So that's why I don't have more up. I'm more of a hands-on doer, maker, creator. As far as writing the patterns, it's so technical, and you have to be very, very precise so that it's accurate and it's correct. And I do have people that have tested my patterns to make sure that I wrote it out comprehensively and comprehendingly. It's just not something that I normally do because it's not something that I typically enjoy doing. I've done it, but it's not really my forte. Will I be doing more written patterns over time? Sure, I imagine I will. It just takes me a longer time because it's not my forte. At any rate, so, well, I appreciate the letter, but unfortunately, I'm disappointing in my response. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm much more of a video person as opposed to a written out person. To each their own. At any rate, we have a manila envelope, and then we've got the package. So let's keep going. All right, now this next package is very obviously Happy Mail. It is screaming Happy Mail all over it. And so this comes from Danette in California. And I have a feeling that these are books, that these are pattern books. And I love books because I find them to be very, very inspirational. So, Danette, thank you ahead of time, because I'm sure that I will be able to make use of these regardless. So let us take a look-see. Let me just get in here. Trying to get in here and cut the envelope, not anything else that is inside. I always try to be very, very careful if possible. Here we go. I'm getting there. Slowly but surely. By the way, also, regarding my cooking videos and so forth. I really wanted to thank you guys. The recent video that I had done on the corned beef hash burgers, you guys came up with some awesome suggestions, helpful hints, and so on and so, and constructive criticism. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. The only time in which I don't appreciate it is when it's just criticism. But when it's constructive, hey, it's totally welcome, and I thank you for that, because I have gotten some less than constructive criticism in the past, and it's like, yeah, that doesn't help anybody. So, but when you guys, you know, are taking a keen interest in helping me and seeing that I do a better job over time, thank you for that. I really do appreciate that. So let us take a look-see. Ooh! Ooh! Yes, 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 yes. Okay, first things first, there is a note. Got to read the note first. Danette writes, "Hi, Craig, Fiber Spider. I hope this note finds you well and that you're having a good week. Well, I certainly am now. Hopefully these books will add to your creativity. Stay caffeinated." This is awesome. This is very awesome. I got some origami books. So this is Favorite Animals in Origami, step-by-step instructions for 12 models. And then we have Easy Origami. And then we have Birds in Origami. Fabulous. Thank you very, very, very much. When I was younger, I used to have a ton of origami books. It was definitely much more of my Jimmy Jam back then than it is now. I still love origami, don't get me wrong. But the yarn kind of took over, and I had tons and tons of books. I might have them somewhere still, I don't know. But this will definitely help. So thank you very, very much, Danette. I appreciate that. Thank you. And I still have quite a bit of origami paper, and when that starts to get low, I know exactly where to go. There's a couple of various, I guess you would call them stores on Amazon that have origami paper. I like the ones where it's colored on one side and white on the other, because the contrast really does help with certain pieces. At any rate, thank you very much. So now it's time for the package. I have been waiting to open this up. I have been a patient little spider, but now we get to see what's inside of the box. Brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. When I saw this at the post office, I'm like, it's a brown paper package. It's tied up with a string. It's got to be a favorite thing. And of course, they got a chuckle at my expense at the post office. So this comes all the way from Scotland. And I am, of course, very excited. And I have no idea what is inside, other than on the invoice it says description of contents, it says a book, and it says 2. Now, what's interesting though is, okay, so if it's a book, but it's in a rather heavy box, I have no idea what to expect. I'm excited though. So let us see if we can get in here without damaging anything. It's always good. Bear with me. Oh, you really wrapped this up. I hope there's a card inside so I can thank you appropriately. Okay, so we've got one layer of paper, and then there's another layer of paper underneath. My goodness. Reminds me of when my dad used to wrap Christmas presents. You know, he would take like a small box and he would wrap that, and then he would put that in another box and he would wrap that, and then so on and so forth. And by the time you actually get the present, it's huge, but it's like a tie tack, That's the kind of humor he had. All right, let's see. Let's go with layer number 2. This is exciting. There we go. Down to some bubble wrap here. What is this? I'm seeing an image of a teapot, which is weird because the box, it said a book. Interesting. Or maybe the box is camouflage. See, that's another thing that my dad used to do. He would, get like a really, elaborate, fancy schmancy box that would, have something really expensive in it, but then inside it's like a roll of toilet paper. I mean, the sense of humor that runs in this family. Okay, so yeah, it says Busy Bee, a teapot. I mean, it's adorable, don't get me wrong, but is that what is inside? Now, okay, so this is taped with Scotch tape on the side, so maybe not, I don't know. Sometimes looks can be deceptive, and sometimes you can't judge a book by its cover, so they say. I had a customer just the other day. Cute little old lady. She was knee-high to a grasshopper, and she's like, "Excuse me, you handsome devil. Could you please help me with the photocopier?" And I'm like, well, you got half of it right. The devil part, I'm not a handsome devil, Okay, let's see. So I do see some notes and things on here. Okay, so Okay, so I'm seeing a rather lovely granny blanket here. Let's see. Got a letter. Hi, Fiber, you are my savior. I'm sorry, it cracks me up. I am an ardent knitter, but have always had an urge to attempt to crochet. Last year, I finally got round to it and crocheted 39 granny squares from a pattern I found. The instructions for joining these squares weren't clear enough for me as a beginner, but your continuous join-as-you-go granny square tutorial saved the day. Woohoo! Hooray for us! The crochet hook took a bit of getting used to, but I'm all set to try something else from your extensive library. I have enclosed a photo of my efforts and a little gift from my part of the world, all manufactured within a 15-mile radius of home, to say thank you. In a few words, I am hooked. Thank you so much. Yours gratefully, Allison. And so this is, just want to cover up the last name here. How gorgeous is that? That is lovely. I also love how with the patterning, you have this square and then you have the squares around it, and then these more elaborate squares around. That's gorgeous. Absolutely. And then here is another photo. That is really pretty. I love, love, love the attention to detail as far as the coordination. That is really quite pretty. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. Thank you for sharing that. Now, I want to see what is in this box. Ooh, it looks like we have some treats. Okay, so we have... I've heard of this. I have never tried this, but I have heard of this. This is kakaliki soup. Yeah, I've heard of kakaliki soup like once, and that was from the movie The Witches with Angelica Houston, and it's an awesome Jim Henson movie. But so I got some soup. That's cool. Thank you. And we also have some, this is called Walker's Mini Scotty Dog Shortbread Cookies. How cute is that? That's adorable. Thank you. That is really cute. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And, oh, there's something else in here. What is this? This is Glen Moray Speyside Single Malt Scotch Whiskey. Okay. Thank you. Alas, I do not drink, but I will give this to somebody who does. Yes, that's one thing I do not do. I drink a lot of other things, coffee, tea, soda, but I do not drink liquor. At any rate, thank you very, very much. And you are very, very welcome for the help that my videos have provided to you. And I'm glad to be of service. So thank you and you're welcome simultaneously. Alrighty, so that is going to conclude today's vlog video. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to Allison and to Danette for your lovely goodies. Thank you so very much. And please, again, do check out Russ's YouTube channel. It's Raining Yarn. And I hope you guys like it. I think he is going to do great things on YouTube. So, until next time, you know what to do, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and please, stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now, everybody, and have a great day.